If you're in real estate and you're paying taxes, that's a problem. The advantages that Trump is using are in real estate. Trump has mastered, put that in ChatGPT and go down that rabbit hole. That's where all the rich get rich. Everybody is doing that who has any wealth.
What do you think the biggest lie people believe about making money in real estate?
The biggest lie, I think.
Folks, what it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Let me ask you a question. What if every real estate deal wasn't just about stacking cash, but more reshaping the world around you? Today's guest, Karl Gorman, isn't just flipping properties. He's flipping the entire mindset of what real estate should be. 42 million in deals, 40 million in valuation, and a blueprint that turns communities into assets and trust into capital. This ain't your average developer. This is a legacy level real estate with a conscience. Let's drop some bombs. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. That was awesome. Did you write that?
No.
That sounded amazing.
Dude, AI nowadays is helping me.
Yeah.
I just stick in who I'm talking to and say, hey, man, write me an intro that sounds like Brad Lee would say.
Wow. That's awesome.
And then I'm like, no, this is better than Brad Lee would say. So, dude, good to have you on the show. Listen, real estate obviously is a killer investment.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. My questions for you would be, why is it shaping the world?
Why am I shaping the world?
Yeah. Like, how are you using real estate to not only make people money, yourself rich, but help people? Yeah.
So we're structuring communities all across the country that need it the most. We're working with cities, the mayors of cities, the councilmen of cities. And what we're doing is we're taking their land. They're gifting it to us and we're taking it. And we're building single family homes, and that does a lot of things, Brad. Like that also shrinks the wealth gap that exists in the country. So a lot of people that look like me that don't have financial literacy, I was fortunate to go to college, but there's a lot of people that look like me that don't.
What about look like me?
Or you.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't have financial literacy. And just by getting them a house, just by them being able to afford a house and them paying their mortgage every month, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road, you got equity in those homes. So we've pretty much cracked the code on affordable housing, putting homes in these communities and really reshaping them.
Yeah, and changing lives. Because, I mean, even fixing someone's credit, I think, changes lives.
100%.
You know, what about bad credit?
Yeah, so what we do is we focus on how do we get them approved. And so we've got a local lender that's in the communities. And really our deals are pretty sweet. So, I mean, we're building them. They're coming in with no capital out of pocket to purchase these homes because we're pricing them about 12% below market value. And so you've got no market, you got no money out of pocket. All you really have to do is have a decent credit score and a job and be able to afford our homes. And we're putting you in there. And again, like I said, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you've got equity to either leave to your children or cash out and do something else with. So it's pretty remarkable.
Do you, so how many, are you short customers?
No, no, not at all.
I was going to say with that deal, again, there could be some listeners like, where do I sign up for that program?
Yeah. No, I mean, we've got a waiting list right now. So we're building 2,000 single family homes in Detroit, Michigan, in Cleveland, Ohio. We're building 156 homes in Michigan. We're building a 60 unit building in Sacramento. We're doing about 20 flips as we sit here. So we've got about $500 million of construction underway, and no, there's no shortage of people. I mean, there's a national crisis right now of finding places for people to live. So we're trying to solve that, and we're trying to do it the best way we can. And I think that the way that we've stacked the deck with the capital stack that we're using, with the city's money, municipalities' money, the mayor's office helping us, we're fast tracking the permits and all of the developmental stuff that you get stuck in. We're fast tracking that. We're getting the land for free. We're building ground up construction in 90 days because it's modular. And we're taking the cities by storm, and and no one loses on this deal. Everybody wins, including our investors.
Well, that's a win-win. I'm telling you, that's how deals last.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions because I always interview. Well, it's not really an interview. I have conversations with people, and I'm naturally in the position of a listener because as I'm listening, this is the first time I'm talking about it. I always think to myself, like, if I were listening to this, what, number one, would I ask? And number two, what's the opportunity?
Yeah.
Because dropping bombs is about getting the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it.
Yeah.
So when you first talked about that program, I'm thinking, well, dude, if there's listeners that need that housing, but as I suspected, you have no shortage of people wanting in those deals. No. Zero down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Becoming a homeowner.
Right.
I don't know if you have a program where you said they need a decent credit. Dude, I can introduce you to someone, you might know someone, but have a program that'll fix their credit. Yeah. You'll have another 20,000 in line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people, their minds are limited because their credit shit. And they think because my credit's garbage, I can't get a house. And then they just rent their whole life.
Right. Exactly.
They don't get the American dream of home ownership.
Yep. 100%.
And you got some people out there, investors, that would listen to this and be like, well, dude, I want to invest in your program.
Yeah.
So let's talk from the investor perspective.
Yeah.
You got a $40 million valuation, you said?
Yes.
And right now you're constantly finding and developing new stuff.
Right.
So how would an investor get paid if they were to invest with you?
Yeah. So we've got an investor platform. We've got a fund, a 506C fund, registered with the SEC. And in that fund, we're giving our investors 10 to 12% return. What I like about our fund is that it doesn't, it's not 3, 5, 7 years, it's 12 months. So in 12 months, if you want your capital back, we source your capital back and your principal back with your interest. We pay quarterly dividends. So again, that's 10 to 12% return annually. Every year that you're with us goes up by 1%. So there's some folks in our fund right now. The fund is about 15 million. And there's some folks in our fund right now that are getting 15% return. So it caps out at 15. But that's how you can get involved as a accredited investor with our programs and start investing with our company today.
Where would anyone go for that? Yeah,
you can go to glhllc.net. You can Google our names, GLH Capital. We've got a whole a team of people that can help you.
Now, for a lot of the people in the real estate game, they're thinking, well, dude, I don't need to invest. I do this for a living. What are you doing different that these people haven't figured out?
Yeah. So, a lot, right? So we've done 300 plus projects. I think when you have done that many, I stop counting at 300 or after 300. When you've done that many projects from single family homes to apartment complexes, to Airbnbs, to short-term rentals, to long-term rentals, to midterm rentals, you've got it figured out. We've got a team of folks that, because of that, we've been able to hire a team of folks that are really good at their craft. We've got wholesalers on staff. We've got agents on staff that are sourcing the deals. Brad, 90% of the money that we make is buying the right asset at the right time. You've got distressed buyer or distressed sellers that need to offload their homes. We're there. We close pretty quickly, and we do it all in cash, and they don't have to make any. They don't have to fix up their houses at all. So that piece of it. And then we've got the whole GC thing dialed in. I mean, if you or anybody else that's not in real estate that wants to go and fix your home, finding a GC, finding someone that's going to be credible, someone that's going to be good, that's hard to do. We've got GCs that are already in our portfolio that are looking at, that are fixing our homes right now. And then on the exit side, I feel like we've got the right agents that can move, our products. We got the number one Century 21 agent in the country working for our team. We've got some other folks that are really, really talented under his organization across the country. So I think the team makes it all look good. So I think that's what we're doing differently from just the traditional flips. And then, like I said, like I mentioned before, for the affordable housing stuff, what we're doing they're different is that we've got the mayors, we've got the city council, we got a political power that is basically dictating to the people that stop you when you're developing to have you fast track, right? So I hired a guy by the name of Ron Carson. He spent 25 years in the White House. He's got a global Rolodex. He's friends with Obama. When he calls the mayor of a city, they tend to listen. Again, it's all of these things that slow you down along the way, that prevents developers from making money. And we don't have those obstacles.
Yeah. Well, that's what interests me most because I like helping people.
Yeah.
And affordable housing, dude. And the fact that you can lead someone to home ownership, that literally is life-changing.
100%.
So because of these relationships, you're able to do this?
Yeah. 100%. Yes.
So if I were to invest money with you, we were talking earlier and you said, I get my money back like quick. How quick?
So you have to leave it in for 12 months into the fund. And then after that, you can, but the first quarter, the first calendar quarter, you're going to see a dividend check from us.
At 10 to 12%?
10 to 12%.
So if I gave you $100,000, that's the minimum?
That's 100,000 is our minimum. Yep.
So if I gave you 100,000 today.
Yep.
When does my dividend start?
So what's today? Today is
July 9th.
July. Okay. So then we just paid out in June. September is the next time, or is the first time you'll start receiving your dividend checks. And
it would be on the amount that I gave you.
Correct. Yeah.
Dude, that's like a no-brainer though. Do you have any shortage of investors?
You know what? We are currently raising $30 million between now and the end of the year.
Why don't you raise $300 million?
Well, because I can leverage the 30 million, right? So I think a lot of what we're talking about is cash on cash return. There's a lot of institutions out there that will lend you the money. And so what I like to look at is how much money do I have to spend? How much of your money do I have to borrow in order to make a return for you and me? Where I can use the bank's, the capital. So we like to do a fair amount of leverage. And so that's what we do. So, but I mean, you talk to me, in 2 years, I'm back on the show, hopefully, we might be raising 300 million.
Well, because the only reason I wouldn't, if I was in your shoes, because you figured out the formula. Mm-hmm. And obviously, guys, I would say everyone needs to do their own due diligence. If you're a credited investor, well, then don't say because he was on Brad Lee's show. Yeah. A lot of people, for some reason, they think just because you're on the show, it means I'm vouching for you. Well, again, I do a little bit of due diligence or try, but at the end of the day, if I'm listening to this, that sounds like a no-brainer. My question would be, well, why are you only raising 30? Is it you have a shortage of properties?
Well, we want to make sure we're doing there's a shortage of me actually. All right. So, and we want to make sure, or I want to make sure that we're doing the right things in the city. Right. But if there was a number of me where that could talk to the city council members and the mayor's offices and get what we need in that area together, then we would be raising a whole lot more. I mean, we've got the projects that I mentioned, but we also have cities that are calling us to say, hey, when can you come and do the same thing that you're doing in Cleveland, Detroit, Indianapolis, Houston, Dallas? When can you come and do that in our city? And so, if there was a number of me that were out there that could do that, then yeah, we would be looking at, an operation that's probably a lot larger than it is today.
So what if I'm already in real estate? I've already flipped houses. Like I'm thinking, dude, so I did the same shit you have, but I want access to that formula. Yeah. Would you partner with me and let me be the you?
Sure. Absolutely.
So what would those people need to do?
Those people just need to be operators. They need to be in the city. We'll set them up with the relationships that they need, the builders that they need, the infrastructure that they need.
So what do they need?
They just need to be operators. They need to be able to know what they're doing.
Experience.
And we can teach most of it. I think, I've never really thought about, cloning myself, right? But as the time goes on and conversations that I'm having with smart people, I think it might be an opportunity for that.
It would be a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Because dude, all I do, I think one of my visions is to listen to what people are doing and then think, what would I do if I were them?
Yeah.
Assuming everything's true and everything's what you're saying. And it's like, man, this is Because all you need is a formula that wins.
Right.
And then, dude, there's an unlimited amount of money.
100%.
So when someone says, well, we're raising 50 million. Well, why aren't you raising 50 billion? Well, most of their answers is, well, because there's not enough.
Yeah.
We can't find enough of these.
Yeah.
You can only do so many.
Yeah.
But it sounds like affordable housing, dude. You can do that in every city. City. And it's only limited by you.
Yes.
So if I could find people that are experienced like you, they just don't have the connections.
Right.
They don't know Obama.
Right.
And they don't know the formula.
Right.
But they know real estate and they know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And they could say, hey, look, I'll step in.
Yeah.
And I'll go be the you in Cleveland or wherever. Well, dude, now you can open up in 80 cities.
Yeah.
Assuming you trust them.
Yeah.
You got to figure that out.
Yep.
Again, this goes both ways. Just because they come from dropping bombs, dude, don't mean you can trust them. But I know there's a lot of realtors that listen to me. There's a lot of real estate people. And I always ask realtors, like, what are you doing selling them, dude? You don't get rich selling them. No. You get rich owning them.
Yep.
So again, there's probably some realtors listening. They know the industry, they know shit, but they've never made the jump because they're scared it won't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I heard this though, I'd be like, dude, I know the deal.
Yeah.
And if you set me up, I'll be your guy in that neighborhood. Yeah. So where would they call? How would they reach you?
The same way. I mean, on the website and
but it's not ready for that because we were just talking about it.
Yeah, no, it's not ready. But I mean,
you want them to reach out to you?
We could reach out, and I mean, we talked about putting 10 people in a room. I mean, we could do it one by one. What I know and in the infrastructure that I can plug someone in. It's not rocket science, right? So I've got a lot of neighbors that are doctors. They're saving people's lives. We're not doing that, right? So I would not be representing myself correctly if I'm saying, hey man, this is something that no one else can learn. This is something that everybody can learn. If you apply yourself in 4 hours, I can teach you what I learned. You read a couple of the books that we've published, and then you're off to the races. And then again, in our infrastructure,
well, that's the secret.
With our team. Yeah. If you take my team and our infrastructure, anybody can do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So if I'm listening to this and I know real estate, dude, I'm like, dude, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because there's realtors out there, not realtors, but investors, wholesalers, flippers.
Yep.
They're running around making a great living, but they're not crushing it like what you're talking about. Nobody's donating land to them.
I know. No one.
Like, dude, you talking about all cities across the country have programs where they'll give me the land.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I will say I live in San Diego. It's probably less prevalent in San Diego.
I don't care where it is.
In areas like that. But what happens is in the Midwest and some of these other areas is that people can't afford their homes. They default on it. It goes back to the bank. The bank is not a real estate agent. They're not, they don't know real estate. They don't know what to do. They try to auction it off or they try to get rid of the house in some capacity, but they can't. And so what they end up doing is they end up giving it back to the city and writing it off their books as bad debt. So these banks that own these mortgage companies that own these plots give it back to the city. Well, the city's not a registered real estate agent either. Right. So the city has all of these lands and all of these lots in what they call a land bank, and it just goes there to die. And so what we do is we go to the mayor's office and say, hey, you've got 21,000 vacant lots. Why don't you give us half of those and we'll develop single family homes, and we're going to solve the problem for affordable housing. We're going to solve the lead problem. We're going to solve housing crisis, because some of these lots that are built and that are dilapidated and are just standing and they're vacant. You've got all kinds of problems in there in that house. There's people go in there and they're doing drugs, they're overdosing, all kinds of issues that are going on. The police are coming. We'll take care of that for you. We'll knock it down. We'll build a house up and we'll sell it. Again, the person that's renting down the street can afford this home because they're paying the rent down the street. All they need to do is think about paying the mortgage. There's 0% down. It's a no-brainer for everybody that's involved. And so when we position it like that to the city, they don't have any choice but to say, where do I sign?
Yeah. So, dude, you're just short on people.
Just short
that
on
know
people.
What they're doing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cray.
Yeah.
So how did you discover this little formula? Did you bump into it? Did someone teach you?
Yeah. So I bumped into it. So I spent 20 years in corporate America. working for the three largest financial institutions in the country. So MetLife, Sun Life, and Voya Financial. GLH started in 2015 as an accident. So my wife and I were pregnant with both our daughters at the same time, which was a huge surprise for us. And GLH stands for Grant, Laurel, and Hallie, which are my kids. And so I said, honey, I'm going to start doing this a little bit more. I'm going to start flipping a couple more homes. And so I started with 1 and 2, and 2 became 5, 5 became 10. And we did a row of duplexes in a C- neighborhood. And as we were doing that, we bought it at such a great rate. Again, the owner of those duplexes just wanted out. So we bought in, we got it at a great rate. We didn't have to displace people. We fixed up the outside of the homes. And then we took the people that were in there and put them in extended stay and fixed up the inside. And then after we were done, we moved them back in, and I'm there, taking photos and videos with a couple of my friends. And this lady, African-American woman, 75 years old, says, "Are you GLH?" And I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Are you Karl?" And I said, "Yeah." And she paused and started crying. And she said, "Thank you for changing the community." And I was there to make money. I was not there to make a difference, but I thought, okay, if I can make money and a difference, why wouldn't I do that more? So I've had the same mentor for the last 23 years. He's instructed me to do a lot of different things. And he also instructed me to leave my cushy corporate America job where you can make $500,000 to $1 million a year. Leave that job and go pursue this full time. And the sky's been the limit. I mean, we are just, we're absolutely crushing it now because of that.
Yeah. Well, dude, a lot of times the best, things happen on accident.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even intentional.
No,
they were discovered.
Yes.
So what do you think the biggest lie people believe about making money in real estate?
The biggest lie. I think people think that they have to have a lot of money to make a lot of money in real estate. And I would say that, if you start small, start with a $50,000 house that's not in your neighborhood. Another lie is that people think that you have to do it in your neighborhood. We live in Southern California. Our first real estate deal was in Indianapolis. So you don't necessarily have to be down the street from it. You don't have to start with $1 million property. You can start with a $50,000 property. And like I was telling you,
where are these properties?
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, they're everywhere.
See, I want to get into real estate. I've been threatening. I have guest after guest into real estate. They're all making money, and I keep threatening every one of them. I want to get in, but I never actually do it because on a weekend, once in a while, let me go take a look at this, and I don't ever find these $50,000 properties.
Yeah. You're looking in your neighborhood, right? So if you look,
no, I'm just looking on the internet. I don't see them listed.
Yeah, none of the properties that we buy are listed. Right. So all of the properties are off market.
So see, there's what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. So we've got a full-time wholesaler, right? So that person makes, thousands of calls a week to homeowners that are looking to sell.
How does he know they're looking to sell though?
He doesn't. So he just knows that he just has their name and number and he knows that they're there. And you'll be amazed on how many people pick up the phone and how many people are in a situation that they need to offload their home. And we don't look at it like we're getting a steal. We're looking at it like we're helping them. Some of these folks have had a bankruptcy. Some of these folks have gotten laid off from their jobs. Some of these folks have a divorce. Some of these people have a death in the family. I mean, we find the craziest scenarios, and they just want to they want to offload their homes. And if you think about it, if you went to go sell your home right now, the first thing you would do is you would find an agent. You would try to figure out what it's worth. You would fix up some of the things that are not as good as you want them to in your home. You would try to make it pretty. You're going to pay the agent 3%. You're going to pay the other agent 3%. It's going to take you at least 60 days before you get it ready to go to market. It's going to take you another 30 days to close it. Even if you get an offer on the first day, that's 90 days. Some of these people have 9 hours to get out of town or get out of their home. And so we
what the heck's going on with these people? 9 hours, damn.
Maybe that's a
yeah, I was going to say they should have reacted a lot sooner.
You'd be surprised though, man.
You ever have any of them going to prison?
We don't keep track of the people that we buy from, honestly. But I think that there's probably some of that out there too. Sure.
I'm thinking like, what would I just need to bail on a house for? Because I always think like, why don't they just do what you're doing?
Yeah. No.
But in a lot of cases, they don't have the money, they don't have the credit, they don't have the know-how, they don't have the relationships.
Exactly.
So they're just screwed. So what's going to happen if you don't come along? Well, dude, they're going to get the house taken from them.
They're going to get a foreclosure. So they would rather have me pay them, 30% of the value or 50% of the value versus getting it foreclosed on.
Is that the alternative?
Yeah.
So, because I always thought there's a million wholesalers out pounding doors. Like I've heard stories where like people answer the phone and they're like, stop calling. You're the 19th person.
Yeah. I mean, that happens definitely. Right. But I think if you think about how many people there are in the world and you think about how many circumstances there are in the world, there's a lot of people that want to get out of their situation.
Well, I want them all to call me.
Yeah.
Not Carl. Call me. I'll get you to Carl. That's how I get in. Carl, your podcast did incredible, dude. I got 795 people wanting to dump their houses.
That I guarantee you'll have a few. Yeah. And they will say, hey, I'm looking for someone just like that. Can he close in 3 days? Because I got to go to wherever.
Well, you want them to call you?
Sure.
Where, no matter what city they're in?
No matter what city they're in.
What about country?
No, we're not international yet.
See, that's another thing I don't understand about realtors is does it not work the same everywhere?
It does.
Why not be everywhere?
Yeah. So I've got a marble company in Dubai, and that basically company is fixing homes, right? We're not at the point where we're actually buying the real estate and then fixing it, owning it and then fixing it. But we're fixing homes for people with this company out in Dubai. And it's the same. It's the same. The formula works any and everywhere you go. I've not seen a place where this formula does not work.
So you guys are just raking in the dough.
We're doing okay. And
you talk about trust like it's currency. How do you earn it deal after deal?
Yeah. So the biggest thing about me is that I transfer trust pretty well. I would say that is my God-given ability. One is because I can't tell a lie. And I'm super
You just
honest.
did.
I can't tell a lie.
You just did.
How?
By saying you can't.
Well, it's very uncomfortable for me to tell someone something that is not truthful, that I don't believe in my core, in my soul, that is true.
So you got integrity.
I got a lot of integrity.
Ethics. Where did you pick those up?
I think my dad was an insurance sales guy door to door. And I think he always just said, your word is your bond. And he instilled that in me and just said, hey, if you say you're going to do something, do it. And do not break your word. And that's how I've been my entire life. And even when, I look back in the insurance business, when I was selling corporate benefits for those three financial institutions, there would be a lot of people that say, Carl, we want to go with you. We want to do this deal. It's $1 million deal. We want to sign on it, but we need list bill. And I say, we don't do list bill, and we're not going to touch that and list bill is a term that is in the insurance business, but we're not going to touch that because we don't do list bill very, very well. You should go to this company or that company. And I would walk away from the deal because I know in 3 months or 6 months, when we're still screwing up the bill, you're going to call me and you say, Carl, you took this $1 million deal and you can't do list bill. I feel that way about everything. I feel that way about my investors. I feel that way about the people that we're putting in homes. I feel that way about my lenders. I feel that way about my employees. I feel that way about everybody. Everybody gets the true, authentic me. And I'm living my true, authentic self. There's no, like your shirt, real. There's nothing else other than that. you're not wearing it today, but I've seen a couple episodes
Sure.
where it's real. That's me, man. That's how I roll.
That's how I roll. That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be shit talkers though. What do you say? You got any shit talkers?
Of course. I don't.
What do you say about that?
I don't pay attention to any noise.
That's all
That's
noise.
just noise.
Yeah, they don't even know you.
My mission and my calling for this mission and putting people in homes is way bigger than anything that anybody else can say anywhere, right? If I can look myself in the mirror at night and go and sleep peacefully like I do, then I've done the right thing. And the noise and the shit talkers and the haters and all the people those are just noise. I pay zero attention to them.
So, you measure impact, not just margins. How do you quantify that?
Yeah. So when you get the call from, the single mom who's got 3 kids, that's living in a place that we've provided for her. And she says, she's in tears and she says, I can't believe that now I'm able to live in this community. And now I got access to a grocery store because it was a food desert before. I've got, my kids are now playing in the park because the community cares about this park and that's what you did for us. Those stories don't get old. And those stories get me fired up every day to come and to do what we're doing. And so, yeah, I don't sleep because I'm so fired up to do what I'm doing every day.
Well, how do you scale doing good without bleeding profit?
I think the profit margins are pretty fat, so we can afford to bleed a little profit. I make sure that my investors are protected. I make sure that we can operate the company. And we've got a significant room of profit and fat that's on the back end of all of that. So if things go wrong or awry, we still got a lot of that. But I don't lead with that. I've got enough financial sense, financial major, financial knowledge to know that if we're getting something for free, the land for free, where most developers would have to pay for that. If we're putting up a home that has tax credits on it after we build it and then has tax abatements, we have stacked the deck so that it is really, really hard to lose. So again, I can lose a little profit if I'm making a bigger impact.
What about the city that gives you the property? Do they have a problem giving you something that you're going to turn around and make profit on?
No,
they never say you can't sell it.
No,
because I can imagine them giving you the property, but not if you're selling it.
No, actually, they prefer selling it, right? Because if you think about it,
why don't they sell it to you then?
Because they have so much of it. And we're solving the problem. Most developers, and I can't speak for all developers, but most developers don't want to put up, 10 single family homes and make $50,000 a home. They want to put up one home, your home, and make $1.5 million on that, right? That's most developers. We're in the communities that need it the most. And so I say that, there's not many developers like me that exist in these communities. We come from, affordable housing. I've got a passion for it. When I sit across the table from the mayor and say, I'm going to do this, and you've got my word on this. They are happy to write me the deed to transfer it over for no money.
Have you ever gotten the deed and then just sold it, or do you have to build?
We could sell it, but that's not, we've never done that. No. So, and I think the community is saying, hey, Karl, we want you to build on this. We have this problem. We have this dilapidated house, or we have an empty lot here. We need you to build on that. We need people to have affordable housing. We need, there's a, lead problem in some of these communities. We need you to help with that. So it would be not in my best interest to make a deal with someone and then make money on the deal without doing what I said I'm going to do. So they got no issues with me because I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do.
So again, that sounds to me like it's unlimited.
It's unlimited.
So we just need to find you more Carls and more money.
Yes.
Because if you had $1 billion and 1,000 Carls, dude, you could literally like start changing the inner cities everywhere.
Yes.
And is it just inner cities, or is there like rural shit you build?
It's rural shit too, man. I mean, there's places all over. I mean, we find opportunities all over. What we don't want to do though, and we've been approached by a number of financial institutions that want to come in and either purchase us or buy us out. And then hold on to the homes because they want to rent the homes and they want to have this, this trickle effect for years and years and years, where now you've got a hedge fund or you've got a large corporation that owns the neighborhood. What we don't want to do is that. So we've only taken capital from individual accredited investors because of that.
Yeah, because they don't want to sell it.
No.
You're trying to get in there, build something livable, affordable, and then let the person own it.
Yes.
And get your profit and go.
Yes. And just go do it again. Yeah.
Keep doing it again.
Yeah.
Where most people, and it makes sense,
yeah,
they ain't going to sell it.
No. Especially if they got a tax abatement where they don't have to pay property taxes for 15 years. They don't want to sell that. Why would they sell that? Yeah.
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 Why would you?
Because I'm called by how I call it, man. It's an impact position. It's not well, let me finish my thought there. It's an impact position. I feel like I am called to put people in homes. But we are also making a lot of money, right? Like, 2,000, you do the math, 2,000 single family homes, we make $125,000 a home. Do the math on that. That's a lot of money. How much money can you spend?
So you're saying there's plenty of money.
There's plenty of money.
You don't need it all.
I don't need to make it all and own it all. And
yeah, because that's what BlackRock or people like that are trying to do. Yeah. They're trying to make it to where you can't own a home.
Yeah.
I own them all, bitch. Yeah. Now just pay your rent and shut up.
I wasn't going to call them by name, but yeah, they approached us.
But that's what they're trying to do.
Yes.
They don't want you to own a home.
No.
They want to own all, because they got so much money, they don't know what to do with it.
Yes.
So if I can just buy every home in the world.
Yes. You
owe me rent
for
the rest of your life.
Forever.
Yeah, there's no such thing as home ownership.
Yes.
And I think their comment was, you'll own nothing and be happy about it.
Yes. That's exactly what they want to do. And their neighborhoods in the United States right now, that's what they're doing. They bought 50 homes or 150 homes.
Well, what if you put someone in a home and then that asshole goes and sells it to BlackRock and they end up with them all anyway?
Yeah. That you got to find BlackRock's got to buy them all, but yeah, that I can only do what I can control. Right. So again, the noise, what I can control, those are where I live, man. I don't listen to any noise. I do what I can control. And if that happens, then I was in my integrity and trying to get someone in the home. And if they went and sold it to BlackRock, then that's on them. That's not on me.
You should add that to the deal. Tell them, hey, listen, I'll do this, but you can't sell this property to any massive company.
Yeah.
Like if you sell it to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like an individual. Of course, BlackRock, they'll get around it. They'll sell individuals. They'll fund individuals.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, again, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
It's like I think at the end of the day, man, when it comes to real estate, you've got the formula.
Yeah.
Because I always think about, how do you help people?
Yeah.
Well, buying and selling real estate, you can call that help, but really you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it to put people in that would never normally get a home,
right,
dude, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So and then you said something about you got a 501c3 set up where you're putting kids in college.
Yeah. Yeah. So Black Future Foundation, my wife and I established that in 2020. And so we find, kids that are perfect fit for college. They are smart. They are driven. They're ambitious. They want to do well in the communities, but they don't have the money they just need a little gap funding for tuition. And so my wife spends a ton of time reading through applications and essays, and we do an interview, but we find some unbelievable people. And those stories, I mean, you've got, I've got it on my phone where I recorded my wife giving a scholarship to a young man to go to NYC, and him basically being so excited. And then he calls his mom and she gets on the phone and she says, I never would have guessed my son would go to college. Well, shit, man, I'm ready to run through the wall. I'll do whatever I need to do to get any and everybody like that through college. Right. So, so I'm passionate about what I do. I lead with passion. And that we've got now 13 kids right now that are in college, four-year colleges, that are learning what they need to learn from college. And then we're trying to find them courses so that they can have financial literacy.
Just teach them what you're doing.
Or teach them what I'm doing, or just teach them financial literacy. I mean, not everybody's called to real estate, but I mean, shit, man, if you're called to a business or you're called to whatever it is, there's a lot of money that you can make, but you got to know what you're doing. And you got to know, the rules of math and how to finance things and leverage and all the things that, are not taught in school. I'm trying to teach them so that they can go on and be successful people in the community.
Let's go talk about real quick. Like Dave Ramsey teaches not to ever get in debt, You must have gotten in debt to do this.
I think I got a lot of debt.
So what would you say to a David Ramsey?
I would say to David Ramsey that his philosophy works for him and that he should stick to his philosophy. I'm not going to say that it's wrong or that he should change it. All I will say is that the lessons that are out there for the people who are really, really wealthy, they use other people's money and they get as far in debt as they possibly can with good debt, right? You have to leverage good debt in order to make money. And I would say that's rule number one, right? Dave Ramsey doesn't feel that way because he's worried about, the bottom falling out of the economy and, aliens coming. I mean, he's got a lot of thoughts that could potentially, cripple the economy. Well, if the economy's crippled and if I was to go bankrupt tomorrow, I would figure out how to make more money. And again, I think that the number one rule in financial literacy is being able to leverage and getting into debt, good debt, not credit card debt. You don't want to go buy the newest Rolex, but you want to buy an asset, take that debt and go buy an asset that can pay you over time. And again, if you do that in real estate where you've got depreciation and you've got all of these other tax advantages, it's hard for me to think that that's not the best play.
Yeah, well, that's a nice political way of saying it. Because I'm like, dude, that's dumb. Like, why would you
can say that?
Well, and I met him the other day. I was out at some charity event, and it was Dave Ramsey's place I was at.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh, and someone was like, the Dave Ramsey right there.
Yeah.
So I went over there and I said, hey, how you doing, man? He said, good, nice guy. I said, dude, tell the truth. I said, you ain't got a credit card? He said, nope. I said, dude, come on. He goes, Brad, I don't have a credit card. I got 4 things in my wallet, a concealed weapon, a driver's license, and 2 debit cards, one for my bank account, one for my business account.
Wow.
He says, I don't borrow anything. I can't be preaching everybody not to borrow anything and then go be borrowing stuff. Now, whether he was lying or not, I don't know. And he's never going to tell me, but that's what he said. Yeah. And I thought, well, dude, that's cool. I don't know how you do it though.
That's, to me, is silly.
Like, I'd love to get on his bandwagon and tell people, yeah, man, don't borrow anything. Yeah. Well, dude, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. But like, how much longer would it take you?
Oh my gosh.
Like if a bank came over to me and said, Brad, I'm going to give you 50 million.
Yep.
And I knew where to take that 50, go like this, get back 60.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I take the 50?
Exactly. You would. Yeah, you absolutely would.
But I try to think, like, who's he talking to?
Yeah.
Is he talking to the dipshit?
I think
that doesn't know, that doesn't understand like basics, because you can get screwed with debt.
Yes.
Especially credit card debt. more people getting credit card debt.
Yes.
It makes no sense. And dude, I've been in credit card debt. Nobody taught me shit.
Right.
And I was in credit card debt where my minimum payment was the minimum payment.
Yeah.
It wasn't paying shit off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So literally I was doing the math and I'm like, dude, this will never get paid off, which means I can just pay the minimum to basically stay alive.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything left over to pay out down any actual principal.
Yeah.
So like I was thinking, oh my God, dude, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to pay this off unless I make more money.
Yeah. Right.
So I thought, how do I make more money?
Yeah. Well, that's a great mind shift.
But I went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if I can't save, let me make more than I can spend.
Yes.
That's the shift people need to make.
Yeah.
He's 100%. Talking about, well, then just do without.
Yeah. No.
Do without what, dude? A car?
Yeah. Right. No.
Dude, when I went down, signed my name for a Mercedes, I basically couldn't afford it. The only reason I bought it is because they said approved. And I couldn't believe I was approved. And it was kick ass, brand new E320.
Nice.
And someone told me, dude, someone told me go try, dude. They're approving people. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, not me though. I probably had maybe a freaking 600.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, they ain't going to approve me. Yeah. No, dude, this finance director is badass.
Yeah.
Go see her.
Yeah. He'll get it done.
Yeah. Her name's Maxine.
Yeah.
So I went down to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Now again, dude, I thought Mercedes was just for the rich folk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I drove it, little E320 Sport.
Yeah.
It was badass too.
2-seater or 4-seater?
4.
Yeah. Okay.
Sedan, silver.
Yeah.
Silver interior. It was sweet, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it had the skirts and it was the Sport. It was badass.
Yeah.
People think E320, big deal. Well, first of all, it was a big deal.
Yeah, right.
And second of all, it was the fat one.
Yeah,
it was it was nice. I still think it's nice.
Yeah, right.
Still have it. No, just joking. But so I went down there acting like I'm all freaking capable, which I wasn't. Yeah. And I said, let me drive that. And I drove it. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Let me fill out the app. See what you can do. Maybe she called me back. She goes, well, we got you approved. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, you're completely approved. And I said, I'll be right down. I signed. I remember.
I'll be right there.
Yeah. I remember the payment was I think $1,300.
Wow.
Dude, I couldn't afford $1,300, but I made every single payment. Yeah. And that made me go out and go to work.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of cases, in more cases than Dave Ramsey's case, people could get hurt that way. Yeah. Too.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, dude, if you're a hustler and you got the right mindset and the right skill set, you go out there and you make it work. Yeah. You figure it out. And worst case scenario, what? My credit would have been a 520. That's like trying to give somebody time in prison for doing the wrong shit.
Yeah, right.
Like, dude, I'm already in prison. Yeah. Dude, you can't do nothing to me. My credit was shot.
Yeah.
But the credit.
Yeah.
Do you have a program for that?
We don't. No, but I think I like where your head's at, and I think I'm gonna task the team with finding out how we can figure that out.
I'll introduce you to a guy.
Okay.
You might be able to also find one that looks like you. When people say, because I notice usually it's black dudes that say that look like me. Does that mean black people?
Yes.
So is everything that you're doing mainly for African American?
I would say that the communities that we're serving are communities that are brown and black people. Yes. Like,
ghetto.
I wouldn't say ghetto. I would say that they're working class, right? So it's the single mom.
Where I grew up.
Yeah, it's where I grew up. It's the single mom. It's the, the waitress. It's the teacher. Not rich.
Not even middle class.
No. And those people actually, honestly, are the people that,
the ones that deserve it the most.
Yeah,
they're the hardest working.
Yeah.
They're the ones getting screwed, by the way.
Hey, amen. Those people are working. I mean, you probably work 60 hours a week, but I don't know the last time I've worked 60 hours a week, right? These people are working 60, 70-hour work weeks, tapping in, doing their thing, mopping the floors at night.
The hard shit.
I
was going to say, you ain't even working. Dude, me and you don't work.
Come on, man.
Like this ain't work.
This ain't work. I took a conference call on my iPhone as I was flying in. Like, that's not work.
Yeah. These guys are working.
Those are work. And it's like every day you got to mop the floors every day. That's not work. That's hard work. These people deserve a home.
Yeah.
Those are the
that home and that equity and that tax advantage and that beginning is the beginning of them getting out of that neighborhood.
Yes. Because what happens is, Brad, is that they rent, right, forever, and then they die, and then their children have to pay for their funeral. And I still get calls of someone's grandfather died or dad died, and we got to put the body in the ground. They don't have $5-10 grand to do a funeral. And these are grown adults.
Yeah. Someone said the other day, dude, that the average American doesn't have $5,000 in the bank.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
To me, it's like, how?
How?
And they're not unwilling to work.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they don't get the chance. A lot of them don't get the chance.
And if you change their mindset, right? It's a mindset shift, right? Just like you said, I can't afford $1,300 now, but I got to go make more money. I remember my mentor said, I got a big bonus and half of it was taxed because I live in the state of California. And I said, half of my bonus was taxed. And you know what he said? You got to make more money. That bonus now needs to be double. That mindset to me is where most people need to be thinking about versus the Dave Ramsey mindset of let me get what I got and save as much as I can and not, right? So,
see, if I was your mentor, I would have said, Karl, you get to pay half. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like one of my goals is to be the largest taxpayer in the history of the world.
Wow.
Wouldn't yours be? Because people always go, no, I'd rather pay zero. I get what you're saying. Yeah. And so would I. Yeah. But my point is, if I paid the most taxes of anyone in the history of the world, I probably would have made the most money.
Yeah.
And way more than I've made.
You're the richest man in the world if you're paying the most tax. Yes.
Yeah. Because, well, a lot of people think, well, I wouldn't pay any then. Because like Trump, show us your taxes. But he said, dude, you want me to pay taxes? Dude, change the damn rules.
Yeah.
But you ain't going to change the rules, are you?
Right.
Because you and your rich friends take advantage of the same rules. See, I say people like us, people like us, we don't get those advantages. We don't even know about them.
Well, I will say that the advantages that Trump is using are in real estate.
Yeah. And
if you're in real estate and you're paying taxes, that's a problem.
Well, that's why I want to get into real estate. Yeah. Because my dumb ass is still paying all these taxes. And you're like, well, Brad, you just said you want to. That's it. That's in theory. That's mindset. I don't want to pay them, but I will. Yeah. And I hope I pay more than anybody because that means in my head, I'm making way more than I am. Yep. But that's why I need to get in real estate, dude. I'm writing some big ass checks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I could have used that money.
Right.
Over here, owned assets. Talking to you now, help people. Yeah. If I gave my money to you, do I get my tax credits?
So no. Not
you get them?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
not as an investor, you don't get tax credits. But no, I get them all. Yeah, depreciation.
Well, shit, dude. How do I get in on that deal? Why don't you give your investors tax credit also? Based on their shares.
Because the way that I set up the fund is it basically excludes you from everything that could possibly go wrong, right? So if you give me your money, you're going to get your money back and exclude you from everything else, right?
So basically all the risk is on you. All the
risk is on me. So if something happens at a property and we burn it down or there's something that somebody falls off a ladder and dies, that's on me. That's not on you as an investor. And because of the way that we structured our fund, it's a debt only fund. You don't have any ownership of the actual asset.
Just get my money back.
You're just getting your money back in your interest. In order to get your tax credits though, and to be able to have, not pay as much taxes, you have to own the asset. And then what we do is we do accelerated depreciation. So the Trump has mastered accelerated depreciation. Put that in ChatGPT and go down that rabbit hole. That's where all the rich get rich. Yeah. I mean, everybody is doing that who has any wealth is doing accelerated depreciation. or just depreciation in general.
Yeah. Didn't he just bring that back with this big, beautiful bill?
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yes.
God bless him. But see, a lot of people are like pissed off about that big, beautiful bill. I don't understand it enough because I didn't read it.
No,
and I hate to comment on shit I don't really know about.
Yep. I
always just think to myself, well, he put 100% depreciation on jets again. That's good. Right? That's good. Is it not?
That's great.
Now, again, if somebody gets pissed at me, dude, don't get pissed at me. Go look in the damn mirror and get pissed at yourself. Because those same people can still do everything I did.
100%.
Because I came from a freaking nothing.
That's exactly.
And it's not rocket science.
No.
It starts with the choices that you're making on a regular basis. I know there are people limited and there are people disadvantaged. There is racism in the world. I don't care what people say.
Yep.
There are discriminating disadvantages people have to face.
Yes.
I think all people have to face them, not just black people, not just Mexican people. There's white people discriminated against too.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, with all that discrimination and all that racism and all that disadvantage, you can still get up 100%. And you can still move forward. It might be harder, but boo hoo.
Okay.
What do you know?
Right. Exactly.
Like one time I told someone that they're getting a little hefty. I said, dude, you're about one cheeseburger away from fitting through that door. I was concerned, right? Love ain't lies, dude. I'm not going to lie to the dude. I'm like, dude, you're getting way too fat, bro. Yeah. Like at what point is like, when are you going to like realize you went too far, bro? And he said,
that's awesome.
He said he had a thyroid issue. And I said, what do you mean? He said, my thyroid don't work right, dude. I said, no shit. He said, serious. I said, and then he was getting all upset with me. Why do people get upset when you tell them the truth? You're trying to help these people. Yeah. They're getting upset because you're the only one unwilling to lie to them. So I Googled thyroid shit. Dude, all it meant was instead of running 1 mile, he'd have to run 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to work harder than the next person without a thyroid issue. You're still fat, bro. Like the question is when are you going to stop making excuses? Yeah. So that's the same thing I try to tell people, dude. Listen, I know that there's problems and there's situations and there's all this boo-hoo shit. Yep. And I hate to be unsensitive to it or insensitive. Yep. But at the end of the day, dude, it's all there. Yep. So
exactly.
What's the problem?
Exactly.
Did you say you came from a bad neighborhood?
Yeah. I mean, it was not great.
How's your neighborhood now?
Pretty good.
See? And you look like you.
Yeah.
See?
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It don't matter, folks.
Don't matter.
And no president's coming to save you.
No.
Even Obama. None of them.
Listen, unless you tell me that the president's the president, I spend zero time on that. Right. I spend all my time on how I can be successful under any president.
Yeah. See, if I had my bomb button, because we're switching shit around, I'd be dropping the bombs. Drop a bomb out there. There you go.
I like it.
Because at the end of the day, dude, that's the bottom line.
It's you.
And when people stop like crying and complaining and basically a victim mentality. Yeah. Dude, that's when life changes for them.
That's the mindset.
I try to tell people that is the mindset. Yeah. You know what I've discovered recently? I say it's your energy. Because energy, that's what the real stands for, are relationships. Because think about it, dude. Every dollar you've ever earned came from relationship.
100%.
So relationship. I want more money though. It's relationships, dude. And when you're born, you need them.
Yep.
And when you die, you basically want them.
Yeah.
You're not looking at your bank account when you're on your deathbed. You're worried about people. Yep. So relationships,
I love
then
that.
Energy, which is really your frequency, your vibration, your mindset. It's all energy, your fitness, your health, all that is energy. And dude, I think it's mindset and then the energy. And when it gets to the simplest of truth, it's free will.
Yeah.
It's somebody's choice.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, so you're I'm choosing to be broke. Yeah. Technically
you are.
Yeah. And people don't get that. They're like, bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
This is holding me back and I didn't get my diploma and I don't have no money.
Yeah.
I didn't have good credit. No one told me about that. My mom didn't love me, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
the truth is it's a choice.
100%. And you choose it, right? Like that's it. That's it. I mean, my morning routine is some of Tony Robbins. I start the day with gratitude. I pray, I meditate, I then work out, and then I do something that's my mental fitness, put me in a good mood. And then I choose to go run through a wall. I mean, and that's just it. And there's nobody, and I don't care who's the president. I don't care what's on TV. I don't even care what's on the news. I don't listen to the news or, interest rates are going up or this is going down. And none of that I care about. That's all noise.
Especially in real estate, dude. What's up with interest rates? How you succeeding with these crazy rates?
Come on now. I mean, come on now. Well, obstacles are what you see when you take your eye off the goal.
What do you think AI is going to do to your business?
Yeah, I think AI is going to do a tremendous amount of lift from the infrastructure of our business, right? So raising capital, I think making sales teams, I think all of that 3-5 years from now probably go away. I've got, and you might need 100 people making calls. Now you need one because they can, AI can make calls on their behalf to all of these people. I think the technology, I think we are on the cutting edge of building. So I think our technology is cutting edge now, but it will even have to advance even further, which will reduce the cost of homes. So I think there's a lot of things that are going to go on in real estate that AI will solve for. What I don't think will happen is that people won't stop living in homes. They'll always need a place to put their head. They'll always need an apartment. They'll always need a home, single family home, duplex, whatever the case may be. That's not going away. And so when I look at the landscape of where we're sitting right now and the underbelly of our company, we're in a really good spot.
You're in better than most.
Way better than most.
But you know why? Because you're in the affordable housing, and I think there's going to be a lot bigger need for that.
Yes,
because of AI.
100%.
AI is coming, and a lot of people are just blind to it.
Yeah,
and they're going to be sitting there one day, and the company's going to walk in and say, "Hey, thanks.
Yep, here's your whatever check, and see you later." Yeah,
yeah. And then they're going to be needing affordable housing because they're living up here right now thinking they're rich because they're making good money.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about thinkers like lawyers, doctors, people that are thinking.
Yes.
The thinking part is about to get taken over.
Well,
the building of the house. I don't see AI building houses, putting roofs on them, sticking the toilet in, laying the foundation. No. That's coming. But dude, we got some time for that.
Time for that. Yeah, I mean, my legal fees were cut in half this year, right? Because instead of saying, "Hey, I need an agreement between me and Brad, can you write it up?" and it takes her 3-4 hours to do that, I write it on AI and just say, "Hey, is this okay?" And then she sends it back in 15 minutes and says yes, and I'll bill you the 15 minutes versus the 3 hours. I mean, that's happening.
Well, you know what she probably did?
Put it on ChatGPT.
She put it in AI and said, "Is that okay?"
You probably
serious?
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Dude, yes. I don't even call the lawyer anymore.
Yeah,
I do most of it through my Chat GPT.
Yeah,
which I call, by the way, any language models to me. Chat. It's like the Kleenex.
Yeah.
But any language model, if you prompt it correctly, is just as good as most attorneys.
Yeah.
But again, AI is not going to court.
No, right.
So I would like for minor things, just make me an agreement. It's good enough for me. I don't need to send it to my attorney.
Right.
But anything that where you are going to end up in court, like investments and shit. Oh, I definitely have a real one.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you're in trouble, you can't say, "Well, dude, Chat GPT told me to do
AI said this is okay."
Even AI says, better double check this.
Yeah, they do.
So I think lawyers got a little time.
Yep.
But dude, trust me, the lawyers are going to use Chat GPT.
Yeah. The accountants.
They're already using templates.
Yeah.
You call them up and act like you need something. Dude, they already got one.
Yeah, for sure.
They put your name in it, hit a button and say that was an hour.
Yeah.
Wasn't no hour.
No.
5 seconds.
Yes.
But hey, guess what, dude? They went and got a law degree.
Yep. And they're paying it off.
Don't hate them.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me.
You're welcome. And we'll have you back and see where you go.
Thank you.
But if you guys were listening and paying attention, number one, opportunities abound. again, he don't need any more customers, but hey, if you're in a situation, dude, hit him up. He's got programs. If you're an investor and you just want your money, you ain't into real estate, go throw your money with this dude. Again, do your own homework, folks.
Yep.
But it sounds like you got that shit figured out. There's no risk, or little risk, I should say. If you, what was the third one?
If you
know real estate, but you ain't making it happen like you need to make it happen in this space, dude, reach out and apply and talk to Karl, and maybe he'll make you one of his people, which is almost like just instant infrastructure.
Yeah.
Like if you know real estate, reach out. You might get the instant infrastructure in your neighborhood, the connections, the support.
Yep.
Just operate.
Yes.
That's a huge opportunity for any of the real estate people in the country, and not just investment side.
Yeah.
Dude, I keep trying to tell realtors, you know how many of them are broke?
Yeah. That makes no sense to me.
Makes 0 sense. And then not only that, then they call me trying to get me to invest in a property. I'm like, why don't you buy it?
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to sell it to me? That's how I always wonder, like, why, if it's so good, why are you giving it to me? You found it. Like, why wouldn't you have taken? Well, I don't have the money. Well, then that's why I say maybe you should get out of selling and start getting into owning.
Yeah. But that's an excuse too. I don't have the money. Go find the money.
Money's everywhere.
Everywhere you turn, there's somebody that's got money. Come on.
Yeah. You raise money.
Yeah.
Do you ever have a shortage of money? Like when you say I'm raising 30, will you for sure raise it?
Yes, we will 100% raise it. Yes.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, if they come from the bomb squad, just give them a bomb squad discount of 50%, send that to me. Just joking. I don't get paid. But anyway, dude, listen, I appreciate you coming in. I like that you're out there helping the world. Folks, share this out. You might be sharing it with somebody that literally takes this man up on one of these opportunities and changes lives. You ain't paying a fee to listen, but I hope you're getting the value. Till next time, keep it real.
Wow. Look at that. Just like that.